Good afternoon, fellow home shoppers. It's Hunter again here at Madero Chesmar Homes in Cibolo Canyons. This is a continuation video of what we talked about what happens before construction begins, about foundation and design and the engineering and the plot plans. It all comes together before we actually do something on the actual home site. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go look at a home site, one that all that stuff has been done on, and I'm going to break down and show you what are beams and the cabling and the steel that goes in there and form boards and what is that, how does that look like. Stay with me, we're going to go check it out. So here we are. This is a foundation that's getting ready to be poured, and what you're going to see here are a few different things, and I'm going to kind of go through and break those things down for you. So down here, what you're going to see, it looks kind of like a hashtag or a grid formation, or maybe like a checkerboard, if you will, on here. And what those are your beams that are going to be running. There we go. These are your beams. So that concrete's going to go down through that, down deep, and it's going to go into the ground where it's touching virgin soil to give you a good strong foundation. And then the green stuff you see here, now these are cables, and there are still cables that are in a sleeve. This is the actual cable itself here, and it goes inside that green sleeve. That sleeve allows that cable to move inside that sleeve, and the purpose for that is after the concrete has been poured, then they're going to come back, and that concrete's set up for a few days. They take a hydraulic press and they attach to the end of this cable here, and it goes up against the foundation and it stretches that cable, putting thousands of pounds of pressure on that cable, bringing that slab together to act like one unit. Kind of like, for you gearheads, like a clutch plate in a truck. The plastic, or it looks kind of like a garbage bag or tarpaulin, what that's meant to be is like a moisture barrier. That prevents the moisture from the ground to penetrate up through the slab into your home, because concrete, at the end of the day, it still is a porous material, so it can wick moisture if it's present underneath of it. So that's what's going on here. We'll jump up to the top side. Okay, so what we have here, if you look down here, you'll see all this steel, this rebar, and that's you're gonna find that in a lot of these corners and down inside these beams. That's to give a lot of strength and rigidness at those crucial areas and portions of the slab where it's coming together. You'll see them running down in here and up here. We're actually standing in the garage right now, and these are the steps going up to, don't try this at home, that's going up into the actual finished floor of the home. So this is going to be the main slab and body of the home. You can see the plumbing sticking up in places like we have here. And this is where your plumbing goes through your slab. This is your bathrooms, your sinks, your commodes, all that kind of stuff. This is going to be a shower. You can tell here because of the mud pan. That way it leaves a drain area around after the concrete is poured, and they'll remove that and finish it out later. The wood that you see going around the edges, this is what we refer to as your form boards. It's actually going to hold the concrete in as it's being poured. Now, typically about a day after it's poured, those forms can be wrecked off the side and they're no longer needed, and they'll start cleaning it up. This here is a bay window on a home. Now, if you notice, you see the big pad, it drops off here. That's because this is kind of an outlier structure of a square portion of the slab. If you remember back in geometry, and maybe you took some physics and you learned about rigidness of things, this could be a weak point of the slab. So to reinforce that is a lot of extra steel, and then they just pour a lot more concrete in here. So it's a big whole hunk of concrete instead of just a cap like you'll find on the rest of the slab. This will all be covered up here on top. This here, you can see this area that looks like it has form boards running through the middle of the slab. That's going to be the back patio, okay? So the patio will be here, and that's going to represent an offset. So this up here will be slightly higher, and this will stop the concrete, then they'll pour this, and that's how you get that little drop on the back porch. And the purpose of that is to keep water and things from rolling in from the outside after a heavy storm. But this particular home site is on the golf course. They're going to be able to sit on their patio back here and be able to look out over the golf course there. And we're really excited about this, guys. I hope you found this informative. This is what a slab looks like before it's poured, and this is all that engineering that we talked about on those papers coming through in reality and in form, and this is what it looks like. And we have this inspected by a third party to make sure it's all perfect and right, that every piece of steel and cable is where it's supposed to be, and the form boards are square and everything, because once you pour that concrete, it's kind of locked in. So we make sure all this is correct going forward. And after this, I'll show you what a finished slab looks like. Alrighty, guys, so now we're walking out here. This is a inventory home on Maka. You'll be seeing this one come online soon. It's a Sheffield floor plan, a little over 3,000 square feet, 2-story. It's going to be beautiful. But what we have here now is a finished slab. So this concrete was poured at the end of last week, and they have since come and removed the form boards off the edges and around the sides that held it up. And you can see here the plumbing that's sticking out, ready to receive for the framing. Also, if you look closely, you might see all these red lines on here. So the framers have already come and done something that we call popping lines. So they know where the frame is going to sit on the concrete once the lumber is delivered here. Now you might notice some areas like this right here that has a recess area in the slab. That's your shower. We do a full recess shower in the master bathrooms. That way it's captured there. On the outside, the perimeter of the concrete, you'll notice all these little stud looking things sticking up, and these are bolts. Your exterior walls are actually going to be bolted to the slab and held down. That protects against wind shear and lift and any kind of racking of the frame as the home sits there for decades and decades. Also, you'll see these big straps that stick out right here. That's called a strong tie. This strap has a lot of holes in it, and these are nail holes. This will attach to the frame once the frame is up, and then they'll nail this to the side of the house in the frame. And again, that just holds it strong to the foundation to resist any kind of torquing, shifting, wind shears, and things like that. Just giving you one more little area of protection to keep your home secure. But I hope you enjoyed kind of the pre-pour and the post-pour look that happens. We're getting ready for a frame on this home. And so we'll do another video after a while once the framing crew gets in here and starts standing this lumber up, putting the walls up, and making it look like something. But this is the beginning stages of a house, guys. I hope you enjoyed. Leave a comment below if you have any questions. If you want to learn more about Madera in this golf course community, just text Madera to 797979, or give me a call. Come out and see us, visit us on Facebook or the website. We hope to see you soon. God bless.